Marcus Aurelius was born into an imperial family. He was destined to be emperor one day, but his brother took that destiny away from him. His older brother died, and the responsibility fell onto Marcus Aurelius's shoulders. But this didn't happen overnight. It happened slowly over the course of 18 years. So Aurelius had time to prepare himself mentally for what he was about to face. As we all know, being emperor wasn't just a job, it was a 24/7 lifestyle. There were always people around him, and there was no privacy whatsoever. And yet Marcus Aurelius managed to turn this pain point into a PowerPoint. That's what he did during his 18-year preparation period. Let's take a look at how he did it. In today's episode, we will talk about how Marcus Aurelius turned pain into power. This is the story of a man who never complained. Ever. Well, not that we know of, at least. He was born in 121 AD, and his father was Antoninus, the ruler of Rome at the time. As a kid, he was pretty close to his mother. But when he turned 13, she passed away. Life was never easy for him after that. First, his mom passed away. Then soon after, his older brother got jealous of all the attention that their father was giving to Marcus and started bullying him. That made Marcus closer to his other brother, but then that brother also died. Soon enough, the entire weight of the empire fell on Marcus's shoulders. The only person left in his immediate family was his father, and he spent most of his time traveling. So as you can imagine, Marcus didn't have many good memories growing up. But something interesting happened when he was just 18 years old. A philosopher named Junius Rusticus became the tutor of Marcus. At first, he tried to teach philosophy to Marcus like any other student, but it didn't work out that way because Marcus was rebellious. So Rusticus gave him an assignment. He asked him to say, "I am hurt," whenever somebody did something to hurt him. Marcus agreed and went home. But when his brother did something to irritate him, instead of saying, "I am hurt," he thought to himself, "How dare my brother do this to me?" This changed his perspective of life. He realized that the reason why he was still unhappy was because of the expectations that he had from others. He couldn't accept that his brother would do this to him or that the other person should do this for him. When he realized this, he stopped blaming everyone else for his unhappiness and took responsibility for his own emotions. After that incident, he was never heard complaining about anything ever again. Now, hold on a second. What does this mean? It means that he understood that every emotion that he felt was a choice. He could choose to react to situations, or he could choose not to react to them. This mindset shift allowed him to detach himself from the opinions of others and focus on his own journey. You see, we can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond to those events. It's our interpretation of events that causes our emotions. You may be thinking, okay, but what if the event is actually bad? Then Marcus would argue that even bad events are necessary for growth. In his book, Meditations, he wrote, "Everything has been written about you. Everything that happens to you is there for you. Nothing can befall you that was not produced by your own thoughts. Even bad things are necessary for your growth. Without them, you wouldn't learn as much." One of the key lessons that he learned from his tutor was that our judgments about things determine our happiness. For example, if someone calls you and asks you to do something that you don't want to do, you can either think of it as a burden or as an opportunity to help someone. Your interpretation of the situation determines how you feel about it. If you think of it as a burden, you will feel angry and resentful. If you think of it as an opportunity, you will feel grateful and happy. It's the same situation, but two different interpretations lead to two different outcomes. Another key lesson that Marcus learned from his tutor was that we shouldn't expect things to go our way. Things rarely go according to plan. Sometimes they go even worse than we expect. But here's the thing, this is what happens to everyone. It doesn't matter whether you are a king or a pauper, these things will happen to you. So instead of expecting things to go your way, expect them to go wrong. By doing this, you will be prepared for anything and you won't be caught off guard. Marcus followed this advice throughout his life, and that's why he was able to handle so many crises without getting overwhelmed. For example, When the Antonine Plague killed millions of people in the Roman Empire, Marcus didn't panic. Instead, he took action. He built new hospitals and recruited more doctors to help people. Similarly, when the Parthian king invaded Roman territory, Marcus didn't run away. He stayed in Rome and organized the defense. Why? Because he expected things to go wrong. And when they did, he was ready for it. We all know that Rome eventually fell apart. But Marcus Aurelius didn't see it coming. Or if he didn't let it bother him because his philosophy didn't allow him to worry about things that were beyond his control. Moving on, when he became the emperor, he decided to marry Faustina, who was the daughter of the emperor of another powerful empire. This marriage was an important diplomatic move that would bring two of the most powerful empires together. But soon after he married her, she started cheating on him. Now, you might think that he must have been heartbroken, but that's not what he did. Remember, he never complained. Instead, he accepted the reality of the situation and moved on. You see, he knew that relationships aren't always perfect. People make mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes can break your heart. But that's part of life. So instead of wasting his time on people who didn't deserve it, he focused on what he could control, which was his reaction to the situation. The same thing happened with his sons. One of them rebelled against him and tried to assassinate him. Another one was addicted to drugs and alcohol. Yet Marcus never lost hope. He kept trying to make them better, even though he knew that they might never change. Why? Because that's what a father does. He loves his children no matter what they do. And if they do something wrong, he tries to guide them back to the right path. Marcus Aurelius was no different. Sure, he was disappointed in his sons, but he never gave up on them. He kept trying to help them until the very end. My point is that Marcus Aurelius didn't complain about anything that happened to him because he knew that complaining was a waste of time. Instead, he focused on what he could control, which was his reaction to situations. He knew that complaining wouldn't solve anything. It would only make things worse. Finally, Marcus Aurelius didn't complain about his responsibilities as the emperor of Rome. He knew that being emperor meant that you had to put the needs of the empire before your own needs. It didn't matter if he wanted to relax on a beach in Greece or spend time with his family. His duty was to serve the empire and its people. And he took that responsibility seriously. Throughout his reign, he worked tirelessly to make the empire a better place. He built new roads and aqueducts. He reformed the army and the tax system. He even wrote a book called Meditations, which outlined his philosophy of Stoicism. All of this would have been impossible if he had complained about his responsibilities. But he never did. He accepted his fate and made the best of it. At the end of the day, Marcus Aurelius was a human being just like you and me. He experienced joy and sorrow, love and loss, success and failure. But what set him apart from everyone else was his ability to accept everything that life threw at him without complaining. He didn't let his circumstances define him. Instead, he defined himself. He was the master of his own destiny. And that's why he's remembered as one of the greatest emperors of Rome. So the next time you're faced with a difficult situation, remember Marcus Aurelius. Don't complain about it. Accept it and make the best of it. That's the only way to truly be free. And that's all for today. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.